Hey Annie, I can hear you. Yeah, so we are here live at 17th and I, not far from the Farragut West Metro and obviously not far from the White House, where the scene behind me remains to be active. We have different law enforcement agencies here, obviously MPD as well. And so no doubt this has been an ongoing scene, one that a lot of people have now started flocking to here to take a look for themselves as far as what is happening here just behind me. You can see there's obviously been a crowd of the National Guardsmen here. Last we checked is that 2 National Guardsmen were shot, but we're also hearing from witnesses that a third person may have also been shot, potentially an innocent bystander. Obviously that is something that we are trying to work and confirm with police right now, but 2 guardsmen being sent to the hospital as a result of the shooting. If there's really any good news is that 1 suspect has now been taken into custody according to DC police. But I'm going to step aside here to show you still the amount of law enforcement. Earlier we saw people with tactical gear making their way out here to the scene. Additional fire truck also made its way here to the scene. So really even all the way up from Tenleytown area, we saw law enforcement already rushing their way here to the scene. Just on the other side, near that metro stop, we see even more investigators down there as well. Secret Service also here, obviously with the proximity to the White House, that's raising some alarms, raising some safety concerns. So far, we're just seeing these few guardsmen here. They've been by this corner for several minutes now, potentially just within the last hour. But it's really hard to see what's happening on the other side of where we're standing. But a lot of people are really making their way here, knowing that not only is there a shooting near the White House, but the fact that guardsmen have now been involved. Again, so far that we don't know the condition rather of those 2 guardsmen. So we are waiting to get more information. But just to give you an idea, this is how busy it has gotten here and will likely remain this way for several hours. You may hear all the buzzing behind me. We obviously have chopper up there in the skies currently here as the investigation is taking place. So again, this is just on the other side of the Farragut West Metro stop near this Tate, for those who may be familiar with the particular area here, no doubt. But it's really hard to tell what is taking place on the other side as far as the investigation. Obviously some evidence markers being laid down there, but hopefully we can get a different vantage point, just what is taking place on this other side, since what we are being told from witnesses is that is exactly where that shooting took place. Again, 2 National Guardsmen now in the hospital. Annie, we'll send things back over to you.
Thanks. Matthew, you mentioned witnesses. Were you able to speak to anyone who saw this happen or the aftermath of the shooting?
You know, this is one really good way of putting it as far as how heightened everyone's feelings are at this moment. As I was walking down to where I'm standing now, just a block away, you heard a security guard for one of the businesses around here saying, "Why is this happening of all the times just before Thanksgiving?" Obviously, this is alarming to a lot of people. I did speak to one witness. She didn't really want to go on camera. She did say she saw the 2 guardsmen on the ground at that moment, and she did see that third person also being taken away by ambulance. And according to this witness, she's describing that third person as an innocent bystander. Not sure exactly where she worked, but she says that she was rushed into the bank nearby and asked to hunker down, as obviously a lot of issues were happening. They didn't know what was going on. So to be on the safe side, they just stuck inside the bank and waited till they are able to eventually be able to leave. And that's at some point when I met her. She took a video of the other side of the scene, just the amount of law enforcement making their way down. But you can tell that she's startled, obviously a little bit uneasy, knowing that she saw those 2 guardsmen on the ground after they were shot. Annie.
Person in custody, but are you getting any indication that they might be looking for more suspects?
At this point, we don't know, but it wouldn't be a surprise if they are looking for another person. Was this targeted? Was this random? That's obviously one of the biggest questions. But certainly with this type of shooting and certainly this type of investigation, they wouldn't rule out if they're looking for a potentially a second suspect, knowing full well guardsmen were involved and knowing how close we were to the White House. So we don't know exactly if they're looking for a second suspect, but it wouldn't be a surprise if they're looking for potentially other people who may be involved.
And Matt, I know we're getting word of the closures, and I can imagine this is a fairly large closure. It's closed off to pedestrians as well as vehicle traffic. But are you able to see exactly how large this scene is? Like, give us a sense of how large this vicinity is.
Yeah, no doubt. Let me step aside here once again, just to give you an idea. So this is 17th and I. Across the way is 17th and H. We were able to find parking for myself, maybe around Connecticut and K, and that is about a couple of blocks away. But we could already tell that more police were heading out to the scene. So at least would say 2 blocks from the heart of this scene, the road currently is blocked off. And I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to expand that depending on how this investigation is going. Annie?
Okay, Matthew Torres, thank you. Matt, I also want to let you know that we have just confirmed what you heard from witnesses there. 2 guardsmen shot, taken to the hospital. We understand they are in critical condition. And also that we got word that the suspect has been was shot and in custody.